canceled. What the hell happened? Hey guys, can you hear me at all? Okay, good. Hopefully it's working now. Okay, thank God. It just suddenly cut off. Okay. Let's see here. Yay! Okay, good. Okay, so what was the last question I was working on? It's not showing me in the chat anymore. I think it's too far up. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so what was I talking about? I just completely forgot. Which question? It's not showing up in the chat anymore. All I'm seeing on the top are like the streams offline. I think you got cut off. Okay, well, if nobody else has any questions, I suppose I could move on to. I did have a little 100 questions on Tumblr that I found. Let's show you my settings. Where do you see that? Just out of curiosity. Let's see here. Yeah, it says it's set to stereo. Let's try mono. Maybe that'll help. Is that any better? Is it in both ears now? Anyways, I also found, where is it? I did. I can try it again. Yeah, it says mono. Mic, sample rate, channels. Oh, no, that requires a restart. Sorry. So I would have to end the stream and restart. So I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'll do that for next time. Okay, so what was the last question? I can't remember. That's okay. I have this list of 100 questions on Tumblr, and they're kind of just like getting to know you questions. So, I'll do those for a few minutes. I probably won't get through all 100, obviously. But since I started the stream like at 3 or like at 2:20, probably end it around 2:20 as well. All right, so question 1 on this list is, what's your middle name and do you like it? Well, my middle name is actually pretty unique. So, I'm not actually going to say what it is, but it's pronounced like a common name, but it's spelled really weird. And it's actually kind of a cute story behind it. It's my mom's or my dad's and my mom's name squished together to form one name. And so it looks really weird when you look at it and nobody knows how to pronounce it, but it's actually just pronounced like a really common name. But I like it. I think it fits me, and it definitely has a cute story behind it. And I think if you're going to do a weird name for a kid with like a really weird spelling, I think it's best to do that as a middle name, because then like nobody's going to be struggling to pronounce their first name and stuff. So I like having a really unique middle name. Question 2, are you artistic? I would like to think so. I'd certainly always wanted to make sure I do a career that's definitely in the creative field. But in terms of being like an actual, like a visual artist, I reserve that title mostly for people who kind of have something to say, or they're really, really, really good at drawing things. I kind of just copy other people's styles, and I do fan art, which I haven't posted on Tumblr in like forever, and that's not because I'm done with the platform or anything like that. It's literally because I haven't been drawing. So doing my own thumbnails for my songs has really been the only thing that's been keeping me drawing lately. So, have you had your first kiss? I have had my first kiss. This is question 3. And like a true theater kid, my actual first kiss technically was on stage during a rehearsal. I was playing Ado Annie in the show Oklahoma, and of course she has to kiss Will, and so that was kind of awkward. I didn't tell the guy that was technically my first kiss. I think that would have probably made him nervous, but it was much later in life than you would think. What question number 4? What is your life goal? To be a voice actress, I hope. But also just, I don't know, just to find happiness and to bring a little more beauty into the world. So I would say that's it. Number 5. Do you have any experiences with a famous person? Well, of course, I've been to a lot of conventions, so I've gotten autographs from a lot of actors and such. I am a huge Star Trek fan. My favorite, my favorite series from that show is probably The Next Generation. So, and my favorite character is Data. So I got to meet Brent Spiner. They actually all came to a local convention for, I can't remember what anniversary it was. It was probably like their 30th anniversary. But anyways, I got to meet Brent Spiner, and one thing about Brent Spiner that a lot of people don't know, well, I guess they do, because he sings a little in the movies. But he's a fantastic singer, and he actually put out an album in the 90s with a bunch of old standards on it, which he called "Old Yellow Eyes Is Back" for his character Data. It was a parody of Frank Sinatra, "Old Blue Eyes Is Back," and he did a lot of wonderful standards on that, and So when I got up to his autograph table, I noticed he was taking a lot of time with each and every person, which I thought was really cool. So I felt like I could ask him, "Would you please sing for me?" And he did. And so that was probably my favorite thing. He actually made up a little song for me using my name, which was really kind of fun. So my favorite was probably meeting Brent Spiner in person. He's a really great actor, and he just seems like a really cool guy. Man, am I the only one who liked the original Star Trek series? I like the original. I think it's kind of it's a little slow paced, I would say. But it's definitely, of course, it's good. You know, there's no comparison. It was the original. So I definitely like TOS as well. I'm kind of one of those Johnny Come Latelys who sort of discovered it through the new movie series. But I definitely have watched. I think I've watched all of season 1 and 2 for the original. Um, it's definitely really cool. It's a close run between that and Next Generation. I just love Captain Picard. I think they did some really cool things with him in the 90s. Okay, question number 6. Do you play any sports? When I was in elementary school, I was actually a huge tomboy, so I played a lot of basketball. I wasn't very good at it, but I played it a lot. And nowadays, not so much. I'm not very athletic. I like to swim, and I'm actually a pretty decent bowler. I was in a league for a little while, but kind of dropped out of it. But I like bowling. I have my own bowling ball and my own bowling shoes, so it's kind of fun to rock up to any like birthday party or whatever, and um, have your own shoes and have your own ball. But I guess then everybody expects you to bowl really well, and I do okay. I usually hit over 100 at least, so that's good. Haven't had a 200 game yet, but I'll keep trying. What's your worst fear? I mean, these are really kind of deep, difficult questions, aren't they? What's my worst fear? I'll go with worst phobia, I guess. I definitely have a phobia of passing out. It only happened to me once after getting a shot. My last shot that you get, your meningitis shot, like just before college. Um, I definitely passed out after that one, and the whole experience kind of freaked me out. So now, anytime I feel dizzy, I start to freak out a little bit, and I kind of have a panic attack. Okay, there's another question here. Williamson asks, "What do you like to read? Favorite books?" Um, you know what? I'm gonna share my dirty little secret here. I haven't read much, but I was a twihard. I liked the Twilight series that came out just before I was in college, and I started reading it, and I was really into that fandom for a few years. So yeah, I was into Twilight. I was Team Edward, and that's really embarrassing to say. So that was definitely, I guess, one of my favorite book series. You know, it's not well written, but it's fun. It's fun. It has appeal. Like, you know, it wouldn't have been popular if it didn't. Um, I didn't actually care for the main story really. I kind of liked all the side characters, and that's actually unusual for me. I usually attach to the main characters much more easily than the side characters, but in that series, I was really attached to the side characters. So, what is the best TNG Star Trek episode? um, the best episode. I really like I said, my favorite character was Data. Um, my favorite movie is definitely First Contact. That was my favorite. The best TNG episode, I'm not sure it's my favorite episode, but I really have this weird affection for that one called The Most Toys. And gosh, I can't remember the actor who plays the weird little character in that, but he's an amazing actor. He was in a bunch of episodes of the sitcom Frasier as well, and I just love his energy. I think he's so fun. So I really enjoy watching that episode. It's probably not the best, but and it's kind of obscure, but it's definitely that's the first one that comes to mind anyway. Have you seen the Twilight movies since you read the books? Yes, I did, of course. Um, I was in line. I was in cosplay for a couple of them, um, and definitely, yeah. I saw the movies. I was really into the fandom, but yeah, I read all the books. Well, I think I saw the first movie before reading the books. Actually, my sister had read the books, and then of course at that point, Breaking Dawn hadn't actually come out yet, so I couldn't have read all the books. But I did all the other movies, New Moon Eclipse and Breaking Dawn. I read all the books beforehand. So, um, yeah, that was an interesting time in my life. Um, what is going on with the green guy? I don't remember the green guy from that episode. Do you like Hamilton? I haven't seen Hamilton yet. I really want to see it. So I've kind of I haven't like really listened to the music much either. I think my sister has, but I haven't just because I kind of want to see the whole thing in all its glory first. But I think I missed it when it came to my city, so I'll have to see it next time it comes around. There is a pretty big playhouse here that they usually come to, so I will have to check it out. But the clips I've seen, you can't avoid it. Um, are of course really amazing, and Lin Manuel Miranda, he is just amazing, so great. And I love that he did that and that he chose that subject matter. I think that's actually one of my favorite times in history is like the colonial period, and I think that's really cool. What bands and musical artists are you into? I kind of listen to a lot of top 40, to be honest. So yeah, I'm kind of a basic girl. Let's see, what have I've been into lately? I kind of just listen to the hits. Um, one of my recent favorites has been I was kind of late to the party, but Melanie Martinez. Obviously, I think she's just like weird enough, and her music is kind of it's a little bit um like kind of weird and kind of makes you uneasy, but it's also kind of relaxing to listen to. I like her voice, I like her vibe. So obviously, I did Pity Party for my birthday as Pinkie Pie, which was kind of fun. It's not the best because I didn't mix it very well because pop songs are hard. But yeah, I definitely love Melanie Martinez. I think she's cool. I hope her new album comes out soon. I thought she was working on one pretty soon, but I don't know. How far are you into Equestria Girls? How far am I? I saw the original. I saw Rainbow Rocks in theaters, which was really fun. I was in cosplay for that as Applejack. I saw my sister and I bought Friendship Games. So I've seen that, and then the camping one, Legend of Everfree. And then I saw Forgotten Friendship. And then I've seen some of the shorts, but I think that's all I've seen. So I need to go and actually watch like the whole series because I'm pretty behind on that. How would you feel playing singing for a few canon characters and Dancing with the Shadows? I would love that. Yeah, just let me know whatever you want me to do. All right, back to the 100 questions here. Who's your biggest inspiration? I already mentioned Mel Blanc, Man of a Thousand Voices, of course, who does all the Looney Tunes voices. Um, Broadway wise, Bernadette Peters is my idol. She's amazing. I actually got to go see her on Broadway in Follies, and she was just, she took up the whole stage. She was amazing. And then in terms of just like straight up acting, I would probably say I've always been really inspired by Elizabeth Taylor. I think she just has like this sweetness and this sort of vulnerability about her performance that's really cool. And I've always tried to emulate it whenever I'm on stage. Do I have any cool talents? Well, whenever anybody asks me um, what I can do, I always tell them I can do a chipmunk voice. That's kind of my signature talent. And actually, my sister and I like to do it together. She kind of does the vibrato while I kind of do more of the voice and the lyrics. So I guess I'll sing something for you. We like doing Christmas carols, so I don't know if anybody's in the holiday mood yet. It's a little early for that, but here goes nothing. Deck the hearts with birds of heaven, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. So yeah, I can do that without an effect, which is kind of weird, which really helps when you're doing Jigglypuff. And Jigglypuff, of course, is my favorite Pokemon, if anyone's wondering. All right. Question number 11. How do you feel about pet names? Pet names like sweetheart and stuff. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I like it. Probably my favorite one is darling. I just think that's so romantic. So, and of course, Rarity, my favorite character, she says that all the time. Darling. I think that's so sweet. Number 12. Do you like to read? I don't read as much as I would like to say that I do. I'm more into visual media and stuff like that, but my sister is a big reader. She was, of course, an English major, and like I said, she was a writer, so is a writer. Okay, question number 13. Name a list of shows that have changed your life. Shows that have changed my life. Sailor Moon got me really into anime. Prince of Tennis got me really into sports anime. That's kind of an obscure one. Twilight, the Twilight Saga. I was definitely into that for a while. And then, of course, My Little Pony has changed my life. Definitely inspired me to go into voice acting because I think the biggest thing about MLP is learning that the voice actors do more than one voice. And that was something I hadn't really paid attention to, when I was a kid. And I'm not sure it was even such a thing when I was a kid, but Ashley Ball, I am just so impressed with her because when I learned that she does both Applejack and Rainbow Dash, I was like, no, you're kidding. Because they sound so different. And they even have different laughs and different singing styles. And, if you're really listening towards the beginning of the series, you can kind of hear the similarities. But I am just so impressed with her. She's really talented. I wish I was that talented. I try to be, but so yeah, I would say My Little Pony is probably the number one show that changed my life. Question number 14. Do you care about your follower count? Well, everyone kind of does, right? But, I definitely try not to pay attention to it as much as possible because I just want to focus on doing what I like to do, and I'll post it, and if people like it, that's really great. But, really, I just want to focus as much as possible on doing things for myself and for my own joy because I think people will always respond to that. Oh, that's a question. Have you ever had a near-death experience or been to the hospital? Honestly, the only time I've ever gone to the emergency room was because I broke out in hives. And we called the clinic and they said, some of those symptoms could be something else. Like you said, your ankles and your wrists are really swelling up. You should come in. We never figured out what it was, but the doctor basically said just, take some Benadryl and take a few days off school. So that was probably the closest I've had. I have never had a near-death experience. That's not really necessarily something I ever want to have, but yeah. Okay, next question. Number 15. What's the best dream you've ever had? I don't know. I normally have nightmares, I would say. I'm not sure I really have dreams that are amazing. So you know what? I'm going to skip that question. Number 16. Have you ever kissed someone of your same gender? I have not. Unfortunately, I would really like to. I am bisexual. I do know that. But I haven't had the chance to be in a relationship and with another girl or anything. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But, um, okay, number 17. Do you have any pets? Yes, I do. I have a little black cat. His name is Julian. I call him Juju, and he is just my favorite thing ever. My sister is babysitting him today because I'm doing this, but he is just a sweetheart. He loves people. He's always wants to be in the same room as the people are, and he's actually like really vocal. I guess that's kind of just characteristic of his breed. He is a Bombay, um, and he's my favorite guy. Any other favorite MLP characters or characters you like besides Rarity? I really love Adagio from the Sirens. She is so great. And like I said, I saw Rainbow Rocks in a theater. It had kind of a limited release, and so we saw on the opening credits that, which I didn't realize at first, that Kazumi Evans is actually the one who voices her. And I had actually met her recently just at that summer's BrodyCon. And I was so excited because, like I said, I want her job. She sings for Rarity, she sings for Luna, and they actually gave her a character in Rainbow Rocks, and I thought that was so very, very, very cool. Um, but MLP background ponies. Is there? I like Octavia. I like her design and everything. I like Fancy Pants. He's great, and I love that episode. I actually cosplayed Rarity like specifically from that episode and with the big hat and the little yellow capelet and things. So, um, he's definitely one of my favorite like Canterlot ponies. What do you remember about that very first video you made from 2010? Oh, you went back and watched it, huh? I just kept that up. I've been debating whether or not I should take that down, but that's actually right off the coast of Japan, just south of what was once their religious capital, Ise. There's a little town, a little fishing village called Minami Ise. And that was actually from when I spent a year in Japan teaching English. I did that straight out of college. So I took a walk and I took out my camera and I uploaded that to Facebook just so my friends and family could kind of see where I was living. And yeah, so it was a nice day. I went for a walk. The ocean was right there and it was really cool. Okay, maybe a little personal, but what do you do for a living? I worked retail for a while. I did quit last year. Um, so right now I'm kind of doing some work here and there for my mom. She owns a costume shop here, and it's a lot of like database entry and stuff like that. But I do work for her, and she pays me, and she allows me to live here rent free, which is awesome. So, and while I kind of try to get my hit the ground running and try to get some paid work for my voice acting here soon. So yeah. All right. I think maybe like one or two more questions and then I'll probably end the stream. Number 18. This is a big one. Okay, so maybe just one more question. It asks, are you religious? Excuse me. I definitely grew up in the church. So that was definitely a thing. Right now, I'm kind of like I don't exactly know where my beliefs are, but I'm very spiritual. I believe in basically everything. Honestly, I believe in like I believe that like witchcraft and things like that are real. I believe that astrology, there might be something to that. I believe in ghosts. I believe in all sorts of weird things. You know, I'm skeptical about any one claim of, you know, evidence for things, you know, but I definitely believe that there's stuff that we don't understand and we can't see and we can't really measure with science. So, yeah, I guess I would say I'm religious. Maybe not religious, but spiritual. I don't know. If you could ever redub any other MLP Abridged series, which one would it be? Well, to be honest, the only ones I've seen in their entirety are Scooter Tricks and Friendship is Witchcraft. So I would probably want to do Friendship is Witchcraft. I love the music from that one especially. I did do a cover of Gypsy Bard, which was kind of fun for April Fool's Day, and then I sped it up and went crazy with it. So I would probably say Friendship is Witchcraft. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here since it's been like an hour. You guys, thank you so much for joining in and asking so many questions. And thank you so much for bearing with me with the technical difficulties and apparently only being able to listen to me through the left side of your, you know, speakers. So, I just want to thank you so much. I was really nervous to do this, but I feel like it went really well, and I'd like to do this again sometime. So, thank you so much. I will see you guys around. Thanks for 100 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Bye.